last we left off, all of you had fought off the bandit coalition's fortress. You reasoned with Sheridan, the general of the bandit coalition in that area. So you all fled, spent a week travelling to Alderheart. So you've been in Alderheart now for just over a month. When you got to Alderheart, you'd arranged to have Sheridan saved. She is still locked in the prison, awaiting a full verdict from the council, who have taken the time to decide. But all the rest of the bandits were released with the understanding that they'll all form a new coalition that works essentially for free for Alderheart. So you have now another clan. They're called the Wildwood Brigade.
Oh, that's so cute.
Former bandits now working for the good of the people, helping to save people who are being killed by the fires. Most of you now have become renowned for being the defenders of Alderheart. Harold has a place on the council after about 2 weeks of reasoning. The rest of you were all esteemed enough to get your own house between you. Harold has his own house in the big nest area. You've got your upper class house where you all live together. You've seen Pickled Trill and Beowulf have got wanted posters up all over Alderheart. You're not sure what they're wanted for at this stage. Harold, you wake up one morning with a significant to-do list in terms of dealing with the requests of the people, but you've been given leave to have the day off.
Would you like me to send them away, sire?
Yes, please. Does Kingsley live with me? Because all these people are under the impression that he's my son because I told them that last time I was here.
Will that happen? Yeah, Kingsley lives with you.
What should my title be?
The title?
Steward. I want to be your
manservant.
Your bird servant. I'm Harold Steward. I have a little office. I've gone bald with my little glasses.
Can I tell Lilypad something in secret?
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
Okay, we want to head over to the witch in the woods to get some help.
This could have happened over the past month if you want to do this now.
Okay.
The journey is pretty uneventful. You get to the witch and she's not there.
Oh no!
Right, you dragged me for 3 days into this forest.
It's fine, we'll break in.
You can have a strength check actually.
7.
You smash the window and climb through into the house. The window is very much smashed. So there's nothing much to change. Still got the massive snail shell cauldron. She's nowhere to be seen.
Okay.
Do we wait for her?
Can I do a ritual? Detect magic. See if there's any magical items I can loot.
The only source of magic right now is coming from the cauldron itself and a store cupboard.
Oh, okay.
Is this going to be like that scene in Brave?
Turn him into a bear.
Lilypad, dear. Do you reckon it's worth robbing this witch blind?
Well, we either wait for her to get back and she might help us, or we rob her, wait for her to find out we've robbed her, and then watch her just not help us.
Okay, yeah, we can do that, and I've got an idea if it fails. We could slip some water into her cauldron.
Gee, you look super dehydrated, Mrs. Witt.
We've been travelling for 3 days. We could at least...
Yeah, at least camp out in her house.
Camp out in her house.
So she's not back during the day, and nighttime soon falls, and you've been there for about 12 hours waiting for her.
Should we stay the night?
We'll push all of our stuff outside, and we'll start moving some IKEA furniture in.
Start assembling.
Nothing happens during the night. She doesn't return.
Have I acquired any wealth from being made a councillor?
You've been given a wage, but you get paid at the end of the month, and you're about 2 days from that.
I say we go visit Mr. Rafferty Dandridge.
So as you open the door, the bell dingles, and he turns around as he's cranking some kind of crank. Welcome to Rafferty Dandridge, wagons for the good and rich. What can I do for you today?
I wanted to thank you for the wonderful wagon that you sold to me and my friends. It served as well. And I would like to, within the next week or so, purchase one of my own.
What kind of range are you looking at? Are you looking at the cheaper ones down here at the Rafferty Surge, or are you going right up to the Catalyst ones?
Ooh.
We can take you to the premium Rafferty Dandridge, which are the Centurion range.
Rafferty Centurion does sound quite nice. How much do I get? Just DM. How much do I get?
You get 300 gold pieces a month.
How much are these?
The Surges come at around 750 gold pieces. Catalysts come up at around 2,500. And if you're looking at Centurion, it's about 7,000.
Maybe we could get a loan. Not a loan, but say like easy monthly installments.
Yes, monthly installments.
He advises to visit the Loan Shark.
I go to the tavern.
So Lucille goes into the tavern that none of you have been into yet, the Adjective Noun Tavern. opens the door, and are you ordering anything?
No, I'm not ordering anything. I ask if there's any work.
Well, I'm not hiring, says a very plump toad. Try one of those bulletin boards. They usually have jobs advertised.
I try one of the bulletin boards.
Go back up the tree to find a bulletin board. There's a few jobs on there which seems like hunting down monsters or dealing with street urchins, stuff like assistant to the blacksmith for a while.
Okay, I'll take them all.
Great,
Yes.
you scoop up these scrolls and then you set out to do the work over the next week. Lilypad and Princess Luna stayed overnight at this witch's hut.
And
She's not-
no one's come back?
No one's come back.
You know what to do. We robbed them. Very
We
much.
rob her blind.
You mainly find potions and like herbalist kits and potion brewing stuff. So you find a potion of superior healing, a chain shirt. You also find a scroll of identify and about 200 silver pieces.
Lily, should we split the silver 50-50?
Was this what was in the little cupboard next to the bed?
Yeah.
Brilliant, okay.
I would
Thank
very
you.
much like to take my knife, cut some holes in the pillow for head and arms, because I don't actually have any armor.
So you're now wearing a pillowcase.
Yeah, before we go, we're just going to tip a little bit of water into the cauldron.
Oh, that water.
Yes, that water.
Wait, you don't have it.
Do I not?
I have it.
Oh,
You
we,
gave it to me.
oh, I've just diluted a potion. We should take our leave, and as we go, I'm just going to wand of wonder. That is 76. Is this lightning bolt?
Can you both make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Oh, what's a B?
19.
Oh, a natural 20.
There's a massive fireball bursts out of the wand. It hits the cauldron and the cauldron explodes. So you're going to take 24 points of damage, both of you. Wait, you got natural 20 there, didn't you? Okay, so you only get 12 points of damage. You both blast off your feet. The hut is now burning around you. Your pillowcase burns a bit at the edges. It takes you 3 days to get back, and you now arrive back on the day to see Lucille in an apron, take the apron off, throw it to the floor, and is like, I quit.
We have a plan.
Let's meet up.
Travel back down the tree, just as you see Lilypad and Princess Luna, and they both look blackened as if they've set something on fire.
Are you okay?
Yeah, we got into trouble. The cauldron in the witch's hut actually came to life, and we had to fight it.
Did you use the wand again?
No.
Roll an insight
course
check,
not.
please, Harold.
Okay, my deception is
22 was a natural
15.
20.
Harold is very well aware of your wand of wonder. You're not fooling him.
okay. Fair enough. We blew up the witch's house.
Was she there?
She
No.
wasn't. No.
Oh, that's fine then.
Anyway, we have a
We
plan.
have a plan. Here, my assistant will tell you.
So,
Okay.
what we want to do is create a people's revolt.
Uprising, kind of.
We want to get the lowest class to revolt against the highest class. So we need to find a charismatic religious leader, which the humble folk like, so he can get the gods on side. I think we should use our chosen one and install him as the chosen one as the leader, but we'll be the real power behind it. And you non-birds can just act and disseminate amongst the crowds and just cheer at the right points and boo at the right points and just get them clapping along and whisper. And then we can rise up against this council and kill them. Or we can just turn the council into zombies.
And just lock them in a room.
But I think it'd be more fun to try and get the people to revolt.
If you're on the council, Harold, could you convince the rest of the council to increase taxes? Siphon off a lot of the money so that the council members can get that money. And then just as things really start to heat up, you flee the council.
Trickle Jam is the chosen one, yeah.
So when he's in power, we tell him, okay, you are now the top bird, fly. And we
He's not a bird.
I know, and we push him off the top of the tree and watch him fly. And then we're in power.
This is brutal.
Or
This is not
Harold's in
how I
power.
remember Lame is.
Yeah.
We'll call him Russell Crowe.
You haven't yet seen Trickle Jam in a while. He's been obviously assigned onto one of these brigade things.
Wildwood Brigade.
And so he's off in one of his little patrols.
I could easily persuade the council to start raising taxes.
Sure, that's your first goal. You go up to the top of the tree again. You see Terry's assistant, which was the butler guy, who's back into the council. Terry's like, oh, I thought it was your day off.
Yeah, I just wanted to hang out, get to know everyone a bit better.
What is it you actually want from us?
I don't want anything. I'd like to share some ideas that I have for, what the council could be doing to,
Fixing the whole city, I'm sure, taking a nice cut of it yourself, as you already have done.
Well, not necessarily. My suggestion would be, we definitely need to be raising the taxes around here,
I've been fighting for this cause for 17 years of my life. If you want to back my opinion on that, then it will go very well in my book. What do you want us to use the taxes for? Because I'm all for starting a new militia. This whole brigade nonsense is a wild thing. Not my idea, not my cup of tea. These are bandits. We should have executed them all. But because of you pleading their case, it looks like they're still here. So I'm wanting, if we do raise the taxes, to form a militia. We take Humblewood for ourselves as it rightfully is.
I completely agree, yeah, absolutely.
You got my backing, we just need to convince another 10 birds.
Cool, okay, shall we go?
Call it the Terry Law.
The Terry tax.
Terry tax.
Terry tax. So you head into the main council room where there's currently a case going on. You recognise him as an old bandit who travelled in the caravan with you, who is pleading his case for him to have unlawful relations with a birdfolk. They don't let humblefolk and birdfolk intermarry. And he is pleading the case to finally marry the love of his life, who he pretty much met a week ago. And the council's having none of it. He's there almost in tears as his sparrow lady friend is looking very concerned. Terry comes along, he's like, break this up, we don't need to deal with this anymore. Law's the law, you two can't marry. All the council do not like his approach to doing this. Cynthia's the massive owl staring down at the couple, and then her neck turns towards Terry. She bangs a gavel and the courtroom clears, disgruntled, and then you're able to now discuss your tax with them.
I think Terry should do it. Go on, Terry.
He pats his beard down with his wings.
I give him a thumbs up.
Terry rolled a 5. The council rolls a natural 20. And he's like, so I'm thinking, and Harold's thinking, it was his idea, Harold, that we introduce a thing called the Harold tax.
The Terry tax.
It's like, okay, fine, the Terry tax, but we raise taxes by 12%, we form a militia. Cynthia just stands up, bangs a gavel a million times. So, order! Like, we've told you every day for the past 17 years, the militia is a terrible idea. We have the Wildwood Brigade.
While it would be a nice idea to form a militia, what we should really be doing is, repairing the city. And now that we've got all these, new people to look after and, rule over, we do need some extra money. So we say, Terence and I, that we raise taxes just temporarily so that we can, fund whatever needs funding to, set up for all the new people. And then,
Not only for the poor ones.
Mostly the poor people.
Persuasion check, please.
13.
Cynthia says 12% like Terry's asking. We can't agree with that. There's no government would ever raise the taxes so high. 2%, possibly, I'm sure.
How about 8%?
Not a chance.
Can I cast Charm Person?
If you want to.
It's the wisdom saving throw of 13.
Okay, I rolled a 9.
Let's say 6% then.
6% is a lot more agreeable. We're going to put that money into making homes. You see Terry sag at the shoulders and he's like, what are you doing, Harold?
Leave it to me.
This is not going to sit well with all of our citizens, especially the rich ones.
Tax break for the rich.
Tax break for the rich.
In that case, we just tax the newcomers, the humble folk.
Yeah, and the poor.
In that case, you've won my vote. The rest of the bird folk seem to agree, and you hear one of them mutter, I have been asking for a raise for a while. Council members get a 5% raise.
Is the council all aware that they got a raise because of me? Are we on good terms now?
Pretty much.
So does Cynthia have to announce it?
Over the next few days, the law is passed up, they get an extra 6% we've got to pay.
So our next plan, me and Relic and our gang, is to start rumours spreading that the reason that the taxes are being raised is not to rebuild the city, but to pay the council people more.
As you are heading down, you pass through loads of humble folk where the rumours have already begun to spread. Something's going on and the bird folk is trying to be selfish. And then as you're passing through the main market square, as you're heading down into the underbelly, you see a really hooded, very grey, very skinny, standing on a barrel in the market square, ringing a little bell, and you hear him shouting, the fires are spreading more and more each day. Help quell the blaze. Please join with the tenders and help heal Armwood.
Turkey tenders.
Turkey tenders. But no one seems to be making any interest towards them.
We should make it look like he can do miracles. Then people
That's a good one.
believe him.
Yeah.
Then people will believe him.
We need to get him on our side and then
Tell him what's been going on.
Tell him what's been going on.
As you step up towards him, he's like, heed my warning. Takes his hood off and you see that his head is almost glowing. We need to quell the blaze that is burning across our land.
You're saying some interesting things, good sir. I try and convince him that I'm on his side.
Do you two have a robe of the tenders? I can't see one on you.
Could I do a religion check and see if he's actually, like, in tune with a god?
Yes, you can.
Oh, 15.
Seems less of a god and more just like a spellcaster who is a bit of a cult who seems to have joined.
Yeah, okay.
He's a spellcaster in a cult.
Wait, can I help convince people?
Are you joining him?
I can do.
Lucille, can I have an insight check if you're going to consider joining?
I rolled a natural 1.
Okay, so you are completely convinced by this cult, rings its bell even louder and chants, a recruit, and it says you have been granted rank 1 of the tenders. What's your name again?
Lucille.
Now, are you prepared to take the oath now, or do you want to do that later on?
Let's take it now.
Gather, people, gather. He's already put your robe on you, and he gives you a little medal, really cheap metal, puts it around your neck. Now you must swear on our holy tome.
I placed my hand on the tome.
Do you promise to keep the balance of nature?
I promise to keep the balance of nature.
Do you promise to help all people who've been harmed by natural imbalance?
I promise to help all people.
Good. Do you promise that although you cannot control nature, you will try not to control nature?
Sure.
And he goes, you've been granted rank 1, which is seedling.
Thank you.
You're expected to pay your tithe every month just to keep our
I'm sorry, I wasn't informed about this.
you can pay in weekly installments if you so desire, or you can pay it all annually up front. If you want to pay it all up front, under it is 95 gold pieces.
Well, that's all the gold I have. You know what? Take my gold. I'm going to sell this gemstone for 250.
Your yearly tithe to the cult has been paid.
Okay, what can I do to get more recruits?
He hands you a bell.
And what else?
That's about it. That's all we've been doing.
Okay, I go out and get more recruits.
Can I have another charisma check, please?
Yes. 19.
None of the bird folk are willing to join, but you've got a bunch of the old bandits who are more than willing to join because they want to see a way out and find new purpose in life. Seeing you recruit so many people in one night, you're granted rank 2 of the tenders, so you're now known as Sproutling Lucille.
Let's start some trouble.
So as the day goes on, all of you are beginning to chant and form an alliance against him, and word begins to spread that Harold is forming a revolution against the council. First day goes past and you get a massive rabble of complaints who want to immediately charge on the council rooms. They're able to be stifled by a bunch of Birdfolk Guard.
Watching how this plays out.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what else to do, but I'm very interested to see how it turns out.
Couple of hours and you're in the tavern discussing your next strategy. A rabble of the brigade wander in. Amongst them is Trickle Jam, who's talking a heroic story and saying, yes, and that's when I saved the day. And he's like, looks at you, he's like, these people can tell you, look. And he sees all of you.
I fall flat on my face before him.
Same.
I wash his feet with my hair.
Trickle Jam adjusts his little leather jerkin thing. Everybody, I told you. And you see a couple of the others also convinced, very shakily fall to their knees.
The next thing we need to teach him is the importance of not being so up himself.
The council have raised the taxes.
They're tyranny.
Pharisees.
We
Take your
think
people and rise up.
Rise up.
the logical route.
Look, the chosen one never
You can
takes
be
the logical
king.
route.
Am I
You can
king?
do away with the council. You can be king. You are king. You just need to make it happen.
Claim it.
Acknowledge
The
it.
right thing to do.
He draws his sword immediately and says, do we march now?
No. Gather.
No.
Get everyone to join your side. Then, we ride at dawn, as it were. Not dawn today.
I'll spread word. And so he goes off. You can be assured that word is now going to spread across the Wildwood Brigade. A revolution is starting and they should take up arms against the Birdfolk Council and take over themselves. Morning comes. You are summoned back to the council chambers, Harold. But you're tasked with, we need a council representative to go and at least hear out this religious cult that started in the city. We had a bunch of humble folk suddenly take interest. They're blaming us for a lot of issues that aren't our issue. But just to hear them out, investigate what their little cult thing is and report back to us.
Certainly, yes. I'm sure they're harmless, but I'll go and check it out.
We just need to quench this before they form an uprising. Say, we'll pay you extra for your travels, but we'll give you a wagon should you need it, and a small escort to make sure you don't die out there.
Could I message Harold? We still have General Sheridan. Would you be able to try and convince whoever it is that's sending you to go to these places that the only person you would trust with your life is General Sheridan, and that's why you're demanding her immediate release of prison?
Yes, I tell them that.
Persuasion check.
Yes. Unnatural. but
It takes a bit of convincing still. You begin discussing the possibility of it. Cynthia is kind of like, well, she's still a threat. We can't trust her. We'll need a bunch of,
She saved my life. I would not be standing here today if it were not for that box.
Put your position as guarantee.
What?
Your position as guarantee.
Oh, that's a good one.
To get her out, because then all the bandits will follow her.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, like, once council's gone, they can't remove your position if they're all dead.
Can't get demoted if your boss is dead.
What are you telling me to do?
Classic.
If something happens, then, I forfeit my position on the council.
You must understand then that if you're going with Sheridan, we can't send any men out with you.
Like I said, I trust these people with my life. They saved my life. They were prisoners in that fortress. And, they got me out of there safely.
If she escapes under your watch, you'll be held accountable. You will lose your position. You have a week from today, and we just want this religious cult investigated in its entirety.
Right, I leave.
When do we do this revolution?
When do we do this?
So
I say
we need to get her on board.
We need to get Sheridan on board.
Get the cult on board.
Get the cult on board.
I can help get the cult on board.
Keep it on the down low. Like, everyone's got the revolution is still happening, but as far as the Birdfolk are aware, we've squashed that. We're going to get Sheridan.
So you head down to the prison. You have her release papers and the explanation why from the council. All 12 signatures are on it. The guards don't quite recognise you immediately, and it takes them eyeing over these papers several times to confirm who you are, and then grant you entry into the prison. There's just a descent down into just the lowest roots possible. Where all the cages are made up of just giant intertwining roots.
So these not all with me now?
Yeah, they're all with you as you go down. The only prisoner in these cells is General Sheridan. High security, there are about 6 guards, not letting her out of her sight, and she's chained to a post. Guards unlock the door for you, and she's like, I was hoping you'd show your face soon. Have they come to an agreement about my fate now?
I'm sorry it's taken so long. Relic, your berries.
I hand her my berries.
So I explain the situation to her, but I do message also at the same time to get across the important information that the guards aren't allowed to hear.
And she is more than happy to assist. Could you find me a weapon of some kind, as some armour?
Yep.
Even when you go back up to the town and prepare for your leave, you get a few odd winks from humble folk around. Something's going to go down. Can I have an insight check, please, Harold?
21.
The way that they're looking at you can gather that they're planning something quite imminently. And if you're going to be gone for a few days or a week, you've kind of started something here that you're not going to be able to stifle unless you're around to stifle it.
I didn't just go with it.
Which is going to be a few days.
The religious place was where it's all starting. Was it not?
We've just met a couple of them. I think the main religious people are somewhere away.
Oh, I see. Right, okay.
Forget about them then. Let's just go with it.
Just go with it.
I want to do some fighting.
Trickle Jam. We'll go wherever he is. And say now is the time.
You find Trickle Jam about to head out with a small troop. And he eyes you like, are we ready? Are we going? It's dawn. It's past dawn. He draws his sword, and the rest of them around him are like, okay, we go straight to the council.
Sure.
Talk has got around, and about a third of these woodland creatures are more than willing to join you. Lucille's convinced some of the religious folk to get involved as well, and they are spellcasters. It draws the attention of guards, and you hear someone say, pipe down.
We say to the guards that we're just leave them be. They're celebrating a victory in one of the lands that they've just come back from.
Deception check, please.
14.
Let's just say for all the guards, they'll just assume that this is a strange celebration, and just keep those weapons away from us.
Okay, we march off.
Let's parade towards the council.
Yeah, we'll parade towards the council. We'll put the weapons away for now.
Okay, you all put your weapons away and you parade up to the council doors. The butler guy, Terry's personal assistant, he's like, Harold, I thought you'd gone to deal with the religious. And he looks over his shoulders and sees Lucille in one of the tender's cloaks. What are you doing with him?
He's an ambassador.
He's an ambassador.
So
We've struck a bargain with him.
So you make it to the council chambers, where about 4 or 5 of the council members are there with a session going on.
So I'm going to message Harold. If we're going to fight anyway, I think it might be a good idea that we get at least one of these people to turn against Cynthia. I think everyone with message should message one person from the council and say, that's not Cynthia, that's a shapeshifter or something, so that we can overthrow her quicker, and then they wouldn't expect it when we turn on them too.
Sure.
Would it also be worth putting a drop of zombie water in her water so that she changes and goes a bit weird?
How about you give me the flask? I'll go around filling up glasses and stuff at the table. We set everything up for the negotiation, and we poison the water, and then that's when we strike.
Okay, so you've marched a whole revolution up into the council chambers.
No, I think
we haven't marched everyone into the chambers. Yeah, have them outside, like trying to attack other things as a distraction.
just send them out to start making chaos.
Yeah.
Just riots in the streets and stuff.
You tell Trickle Jam, go for it, as riots begin ensuing around you. The doors are sealed for your own safety.
How many birds are in the room with us?
There's 5 of the council members. Some more bird folk who are just around because they're part of the council.
We've planted zombie water for the council members, and we're messaging the other council members to say, do you think so-and-so has been acting a bit strange recently? We've got reason to believe that there might be an intruder, like a shapeshifter or something.
Okay, roll a deception check, please.
Should all of us with message do that?
24 with a natural 20.
Oh, nice.
I got 22 with a natural 20.
22 with an unnatural, 18. Lilypad, do you have message?
I don't think so.
You convince them all that there's something suspicious going on, and the message you get back from all of them is like, yeah, something's going on.
Get to the council chambers, quick.
So a bunch of them make it. I'm telling you now, you've started something you can't stop. 4 of them have been killed on the way in.
Good.
And the rest of them make it in turmoil. Like, you have no idea what's going on here. Why did you bring us here? We just lost George and Elliot and Prudence and Calliope. They were our favourites.
We must avenge them. It was the shapeshifters. You don't know who they're impersonating. Has Cynthia and that had the water yet?
Yes, so I'm taking a drink because
They're hot and bothered.
Rufus, who is the strongest of them all, pretty much he used to be an adventurer too.
So he's like an arrow, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. He's a rooster, and he is angry at this point. This is your fault, Harold. You pleaded the case. You made us form this wood thing brigade, whatever you call it, and they've just formed an uprising against us. So I say immediately now you are demoted from your position. Most of them now believe that Harold formed this revolution.
Wonder!
How do I know that you're not a shapeshifter?
There's one way to prove that someone's a shapeshifter. We've got some magic shapeshifter water here, which will turn people back to their original shape. So all of you, members of the council, need to take a sip of the water.
Deception check, please.
Oh yes, 23.
That's the only wizard-looking person in the room, besides now Lucille, who's wearing a religious culture. You convinced them that you've got magic shapeshifter water. They're all like, yeah, well, I'm going to convince you that I'm not. And so they all take a sip from your shape-shifting water.
I take a swig from the similar one that isn't the zombie water.
The clean one.
Look, I'm clean.
And nothing happens, so they're like, what does that mean?
It means it takes a little while to fully work.
Kick in.
They camp out around the little room, they all take the seats in the council things, and because there are now obviously 4 seats available, you all get a seat.
Oh, and did I mention, instead of turning back to them normal selves, it will kill them if they are truly an intruder.
They don't get suspicious by this, and he's like, well, I know I'm not a shapeshifter. You see a few of us eyeing each other up and say, well, I always thought Rufus was a bit of a suspicious character.
Shifty character.
Now locked in this thing. The battle is raging outside, and it gets louder and louder as more people are killed. Guards now bashing on the door, saying, you've got to let us in, they're overpowering us, there are too many of them.
Got a situation going on here.
Wait, there's a sticky situation here.
They keep hammering on the door, and eventually you see these before you get wearier and wearier by this water. They slowly begin to wither. Rufus is the first one to notice. I knew it, Cynthia's the one. And then as he stretches out, you notice that his feathers are falling out, and he's like, it takes him a second for it to click, and he's like, traitor. as his voice begins to go as well, and he's figuring out that you're traitors.
I think now's the time.
Now is
Before they're actual zombies,
Yes.
let's attack.
Let's attack.
Lucille prepares to attack first.
I use my one bow.
Who?
Rufus.
Rufus is the strongest here. He's just realised what's going on as you shoot an arrow at him.
What are 16?
16 hits. Rufus however gets an arrow through his wing.
I'm gonna shoot with my longbow. 7 to hit.
And it bounces off his chain of command and ricochets off into the roof.
Was it Rufus that Xander went for?
Yes, it was.
I am going to cast blindness. Constitution save of 10.
Who? So he's blinded. He suddenly goes completely blind.
I'm going to stab him with a short sword. That's a natural 20, so 11 damage. So what is that, double 22?
With an arrow through his wing, you chop him through his arm and then just cut down, even getting the word out as he falls to the ground.
Is there another one within reach? Okay, I'm going to stab Cynthia with my other short sword.
So spinning round with another one, you...
I swear this is another natural 20.
I'll send you a picture of it.
That's 7. So what, 22?
After killing Rufus, you spin around again. Your sword gets lodged into Cynthia's neck nearly, and she spins the neck round and looks you dead in the eye. The sword is still jammed in there.
Inspire Lucille, this is next, and I cast Bane on 4 closest to me.
2. I'm rolling so low, it's a 2.
Mm-hmm.
Lilypad Allen sings a small tune as Noah, Timothy, Rowena and Josephine are all entranced by this. Cynthia is going to try and attack Relic through her. 16 to hit. Shabs into you with a short sword. 6 points of piercing damage. Ellis and Albert are going to attack in unison towards Princess Luna. They're going to just charge you with daggers. 18 to hit. 10 points of piercing damage from both knives. One of them hits your ankle, the other one slices into your arm. We've got Noah, Timothy, who are going to try and shoot arrows at Lilypad. 3 minus 4, so 1 completely misses. 16 minus 2.
My armor class is 12.
7 points of damage as an arrow pierces your leather armor. I'm just going to kill off Brody because he's a zombie by now. Crumbles to the ground. He begins turning, and so he's no major threat at the moment. Rowena and Josephine, who are going to go for Harold. 14. Oh, it's still minus D4 because he's got a Bane on him. 0 damage.
Perfect.
Josephine comes up to you and tries to stab you with a short sword. It cuts just your armor, scrape your armor a bit.
Yeah, I attack Cynthia. I got a natural 20. 7 damage.
She just turns to see Relic, and then she gets an arrow through the side of her head. The neck twists a bit, and then she just drops to the floor in front of Relic.
Okay, so whoever is the very closest to me, I stab with my rapier. 22, 4 damage.
You slash into Josephine.
I am going to use Burning Hands.
The only 2 that aren't in combat is Ellis and Albert.
Scoop them into a wee cone.
So you can maneuver yourself into the position where both of their chairs is in that 15-foot cone.
And I'm also going to be using this at level 3, so I get additional d6 damage.
So one rolled a 16, the other one rolled a 6 on dexterity. No, they'll both get it, but one will take half damage.
The total is 18.
Which is enough to kill Ellis immediately, but Albert takes half of that. So he's burnt up. He's still on fire right now as the burning hands completely engulf as he starts moving towards you in complete anger.
I'm going to attack Josephine then. 15? The other one's 23, so that hits. 10 damage.
But you've properly cut into her flesh and she's not looking in good shape.
I will use my crossbow on the person who is 3rd furthest away from me.
It will be Albert, to be honest.
Oh, that's a 3 to hit.
Lilypad loads a crossbow and shoots. It goes soaring over Timothy, completely misses him. Albert is going to rush you now. Now he's on fire. 6 misses you.
This entire campaign has just been fluke after fluke, hasn't it?
It has been.
Natural 1 on Timothy.
Yeah.
Timothy misses you. Lucille, both Rowena and Josephine are going to be looking for the source of who's been attacking them. They're just going to look for you. Can I have a stealth check, please?
Yes. 17.
They got 19. So Josephine looks forwards and sees the little badger poking out above the seats.
Just my tail.
And you hear a shout, there! They begin rushing towards you now. They can't make an attack because they're just looking for you. And Albert, he burns up, he's dead. Brody's on the floor growling because he was turning into a zombie.
I used my short sword. I got a 16. 6 for damage, but can I use my bardic inspiration?
Lilypad now has a d6 to use.
Okay, I got an 8 then.
You slash her with a short sword, slice off a bit of flesh under her beak.
Do any of them have any arrows stuck in them or arrowheads stuck in them or any kind of metal on their person?
They're all wearing a thing.
They're all wearing a thing.
They are.
Heat metal, please. They take 2d8 fire damage, and until the spell ends, it lasts a minute. I can use a bonus action on each subsequent turns to cause the damage again.
Should have done it in the first place.
Roll disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of my next turn. So 2d8 fire damage. 12.
Is that on Noah, Timothy, Rowena, or Josephine?
Noah. He can try and drop it.
So Constitution saving. Natural 20. As he rips it off him, burning his hand in the process, it drops the metal on the floor, which burns a hole. Oh no, it's double damage because it's thingy on fire.
So 24 damage.
As it falls to the ground and he is screaming.
With Timothy, I'm going to cast Ray of Frost, and that's a 20 to hit, and damage is 4.
As you form this ice shard and throw it at him, he just hits square in the chest.
Let's stab Josephine with one of my swords.
Okay, so you run up towards her.
Unnatural 20. 8 damage?
So you slash into her back, removes pretty much her council robes, and beneath is just horrible chicken feathers.
I'm going to add another 8 to that then. My classes.
You then dig into her and she's dead.
Okay, and now my second short sword and the other one next to her. 9 to hit.
And you swing your sword, it just goes underneath the neck.
I'm gonna go for Rowena. Cool, so 18 to hit. Can I do my inspiration with the damage? 8. Oh my gosh. I can't do that quickly enough. 14 damage.
The lily-pad dives from out of nowhere after Rowena's been attacked by Lucille and just jams the rapier into its back. Rowena is killed. Noah, who's just dropped his medal, knows immediately where it's come from and is going to attack with his sword first at Harold, but also going to try and take a bite out of you. I'll send it into the chat because that's really good.
A 20 and a 1.
So, the sword stabs into Harold, 14 points of damage from the sword, and then he's going to try and bite you. Obviously goes terribly. He bites his tongue.
Yeah.
3 points of damage from that himself. That was Noah. He had 3 points of health left.
No way.
He bites his final attack against you. He stabs you with his short sword, falls on his tongue, and then bleeds out and dies. So Timothy the pigeon, he draws a short sword, slashes it across Relic for a 21 to hit. 6 points of damage.
Okay, I shoot him with my longbow. Unnatural 20. And 11.
11 damage.
Yeah, I rolled an 8 plus 3.
Timothy gets an arrow into the chest, right through his royal robes, scowling now, seeing all his fallen brethren around him. He tries to flee out the door. You see him begin to start making moves to run away.
Heat metal. 2d8 fire damage. So that's 9 damage.
It's double, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's double, isn't it?
As he's running away, you heat the golden thing around his chest. It burns right through all of his robe, through into his feathers, brands him. He's beginning to scream and falls down, and his double chin, whatever it looks like on a pigeon, flops to the ground, who is killed.
Pretty fat pigeon.
And there's still Brody on the ground growling.
Can we just stamp on him?
We should all just hit him with something at the same time.
Yeah.
Unless I put the dagger in him and then Grace eats the dagger.
I can do that.
How about we each grab a limb and pull?
Table leg.
Yeah, do we just go for bludgeoning damage?
I'm going to cast Enlarge on myself and stomp.
I'm going to go rapier.
So Princess Luna enlarges and stomps on his head. Lucille breaks off a table leg and just clubs him repeatedly in the side.
Stab with my rapier.
Where's my short swords?
And Lilipad.
I watch with popcorn.
And he dies pretty much straight away as you all do this to him.
Can we all stand in the kind of like Avengers formation as like the doors?
With the music.
As everyone dies, the doors are finally broken down by the guards who are wanting protection. Behind them are every form of weapon. They've all got short swords, they've got table legs, they've got pitchforks, torches, everything. Charging them, waving the sword and mowing down loads of guards from behind as they're rushing to get to you. At the front of it, you've got Trickle Jam.
Our saviour.
As these guards drop him before him. As all these guards fall down, there's a bloodbath in front of you. They see that they've taken over the council.
All battle Trickle Jam.
Finally buy your carriage.
And that's what we're going to leave for tonight.